Okay, I'm a little early getting set up and running into some difficulties. Primarily, I still see Zoom on here and I don't have the Zoom window currently active. It's clearly active though. Oh, unless it's part of screen one, um, which is possible. Audio's good according to Tony Wallow. Thank you, Tony. I changed the background to a color again so we don't have the confusion of the pictures. I started Zoom in case anyone on the Zoom homies wants to join in and provide their thoughts. Hello, Roy. Hello, Rick. Hello, Josh. Hello, B.H. Ringer. William Dawson was first. Good to see B.H. Ringer. 65 and sunny. Well, that sounds very comfortable, actually. So if you would like to join, oh wait, I don't have that programmed in on this one. So that's not going to work. I'll bet you if I jump back over here to the main Zoom, yep, there it is. If you'd like to join in on this conversation, send me an email at kstout.zoom, ZOOM, or OO is actually 00. OO is also Tagalog for okay. And we will see if we can get that set up. Now, I may turn that off because it's not doing, if I turn it off in OBS, what's it turning off? Turning something off because I can see some kind of movement up here. Yeah, I think for right now, until someone joins us, I'm actually going to minimize that and make that go away. That's fine. Okay, so where do we want to start? Right now I am showing and displaying and identifying 4 screens so that nobody can get confused. I have my main monitor right here, which is monitor number 1. My secondary monitor, which is my monitor to monitor my YouTube stream so that I can keep up with chat right here. Monitor number 3 is over here, and it's got a couple different things going on right now. It's got Streamlab or Stream Deck running, and it's got Doug's stream from earlier today because there's a couple things I wanted to go in there and address on this from his stream this morning. So I'm gonna move that down in that left-hand corner, and of course, screen number 4 is OBS, and I can't tell if it's mirroring or not. Generally I can. So let me see if I go over here. That's not the one I wanted. I don't want to mess with these. I've got these setting pretty much the way I like them right now, with the exception of I need to make an adjustment on screen 2 and screen 4. So let me see. That's not either. And I didn't do any preparation for this or rehearsal or anything. If I go right here, there we go. Excuse me. That'll work just fine. That will actually work just fine because that's showing my main screen and that's showing the problems, and I can bounce it around from here if need be. Let me look at the audio. Audio looks to be fine. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go in here, and I think Doug said you go to display settings, and I'm going to drag it over here because naturally it opened on another window, and I'm going to drag Zoom out of the way. We don't need that yet. Nobody has joined us in Zoom. So my monitor, he was correct. My monitors are 1, 4, 3, 2. 1 and 2 are televisions. 1 is a Sanyo TV. I did try to find some firmware upgrade, or whatever on it and could not. The second one is an Element. When I went into its settings, there's just no way you can update or upgrade or anything there. So whatever. It is what it is. So bring in William Dawson. And then he also displayed where you can come down here to the bottom and it says, make this my main display, which is currently number 1. And it is my main display. Hello, William. Let me figure out how to bring you up audio wise and picture wise here onto YouTube. There we go. That might do it. And I don't think that's going to get in the way of anything. So let's kind of do this for right now. So as I was saying, Doug was correct, 1432, and the number one monitor, which is the monitor in front of me, which is a Sanyo TV, is checked to make this my main display. So I did verify that. Kind of knew that, but I wanted to verify it. So now we're going to get into this problem. What is going on with this? Well, this is what's going on with this. I don't want them all on here on this main monitor. Sure, I could adjust to it. I could put them in order, lock it in or whatever. I could use third-party apps. Yeah, I could do all of that. I haven't had to do anything until about 3, maybe 2 weeks ago, and I made a change to my system. We were talking about one night on either the live stream that you can put your taskbar icons across 4 monitors or 3 monitors or 2 monitors, and I was not able to do it then. I have since figured out how to do it. I have these things right down here across all 4 monitors. Coincidentally enough, that was about the same time we set the monitors to go to sleep. Oh, it's not in there. It's in, my bad, I'm in the wrong place. I want to go to display options, power and sleep. We set this at that time to 1 hour. At 1 hour, all 4 monitors shut down across the board like it's supposed to do, and it worked just fine. Well, I got to think it's kind of silly. I'll back that back down to, and I backed it down to 15, 20 minutes or something like that. Kind of ended up on 30 minutes. I don't know why. It should be instant, but whatever. That worked for a while as well. The other thing I got to think about, well, that's just stupid. Why don't I just set this to never? It was suggested to me. And then manually push the buttons on each monitor and turn them off. That's what I've been doing. The first time I did that, I had the icons spread across 4 monitors the way that I like them. And just for simplicity purposes, let's say this is monitor number 3, this is monitor number 4, and this is monitor number 2. Now, hopefully everyone can follow along with that. Yes, it's on the same monitor. And if I wanted, I could put them on the monitors and display it. But I think we're all smart enough to understand this is number 2, this is number 3, this is 4, 2, 3. When I turn the monitors off, I go do my thing. I go golfing. I go to bed. I go do whatever. I come back in here. I turn the monitors on. And when I turned them back on, this was here, that was there, and that was back there on this monitor. Now, little side note, the first time it did it, it put everything on monitor number 2, which is also a television, and it right aligned them. And by right aligned them, what I mean by that is it took all of the icons and it put them over here. Now, I obviously have not ever done that until today, and that's why there's a split, I do believe. Now, I don't know if some of those icons ended up on my other monitor or not. They did. If I go back over to 4 screens, I guess I did 4 screens, right here, you will see that in addition to, and I do have my iRun camera running, I was trying to incorporate it as well. So you can see that it put some of them here and some of them there. These are right aligned. These are not right aligned because I could take one of these and put it over here if I wanted to. Well, apparently not. Well, that's just getting better and better. Now, the question is, I don't remember how Doug put it back to normal, which is what I want to do. I think he went into something about view changed them to small icons, and then he went back and changed them back to large. Nope, that didn't do it. So that's interesting. Now I'm going to see if I can't grab all these and maybe get lucky and put them. Nope. That's kind of cool. Getting better. I'm really liking this. Not. So Brave is going to be the, let's go about right there. Yeah, that was a good guess. Where did Brave go? I bet Brave is over here on monitor number 3. And oh, there's a bunch of them on monitor number 3. So if I were to move OBS out of the way, then you can see screen number 3, monitor number 3. It's got some icons on it. So now I have to figure out how to get those back to how I want them, which is going to be fun. Not real sure I know how to do that. William, got any ideas of how I can put this all back on one monitor? Well, let's go auto arrange. Well, if I do auto arrange, what will happen?
It should move it. It did last time, move them all back one place.
Yeah, but it didn't because I have more than I have. Let's go see where they're at here. Okay, so that's kind of interesting in that it put the majority of them on monitor number 1, but it also put 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It put 14 on monitor number 3, as you can see. No, you can't see. Why can't you see that? So if I minimize OBS, is it still going to do what it should do? Sure it does. But on screen number 3, you cannot see the icons that are being displayed. That is really super weird. Jacob 12 times, what's up? Yeah, we're live, Jacob. And I'll let it go with that for now. So that's interesting how it split them up like that. I wish you guys could see this. I think maybe if I were to go into OBS and turn off screen 1, screen 2, screen 4, that leaves me screen 3. And then if I were to just bring it up bigger and move it, there we go. Because of the way I have these adjusted to fit on there. So those are on screen number 3. Now, unfortunately, I don't think Control Z will put that back. It might. I might actually get lucky. Wow. Unbelievable. I didn't think that would work. So screen 1's cool. Screen 2's back to its size. And screen 3 back to its size as well. Oh, Jacob 12 times says he's Zen Jack, by the way. Okay. Haven't seen you in a while. Zen Jack, and now Jacob times 12. Good to see you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put OBS over here on this mess. I'm going to go over here to screen number 3, and I'm actually going to grab these 12 icons. I'm going to drag them over here, and I'm going to drop them right about there. Okay, it put them back in some semblance of alignment. Now I'm going to put OBS back over here. Now if I go in here and go take off auto arrange, go back in and put auto arrange back on, is it going to put everything in order like it should be with all the MP4s down that edge? Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. So let's go view, auto arrange, and it did not change anything. So let's take, then by auto arrange being inactive or activated, I can't move them around. So let's deactivate that or turn it off, whatever the terminology is. Move a couple of these out of the way. I suspect it's going to put them on this right-hand column instead of back over here like they were. Go into view, go auto arrange, and actually it put them right back in there. Now that's the first time it's done that. It usually puts them over here on this column. I wonder if that's because there were spaces there and it's just filling in the spaces.
That could be.
Yeah, it's very possible. Very possible. Now, I will test my theory tonight. And my theory is very simply this. I didn't have any problems with my icons until I figured out how to get the taskbar on all 4 monitors. The problem is I can't remember how to take the taskbar off of all 4 monitors. And I'm sure it's something very simple. So I guess I could turn off the iRun. It's not real helpful to anybody right now. I mean, it just, you can see the 3. I can't get all 4 monitors in the picture. The camera's actually behind me and above me and tilted down. So I think I will turn that off. It's not needed.
Go out tomorrow.
And that's turned off. And now I'll turn the camera itself off by turning the camera off.
I'll go in to get dinner on.
There we go. So let me get that out of the way. A while ago, the green screen just on its own mysteriously fell. It's kind of interesting. All right, so let's get back to this. What do we got going on here? We're showing all 4 screens. I want to show just the main monitor. So I'm going to go over here to this one. That should be the main monitor, and it is.
Ken, have you checked to see if you had a restore point back to
prior to making
the point? Yeah.
No, I don't think I have any, and I'm not real sure how to check.
That'd be in the advanced recovery.
Is there a waiting way to make this bigger? There's not. So, how I should be able to tell in this area if I have restore points or not. I don't want to do a systems report. Right click. Okay, so Wintermute. I'll come back to this in a minute. Because I was thinking there was a way you could go do a search and see what you had. Let's see what happens on system restore. That's going to actually do a system restore, right? That's not what I want to do. So let's cancel that. Let's cancel that. So Wintermute says right click, taskbar, select taskbar settings. Under multiple monitors, there's a setting. All right, so we'll go right click, select taskbar settings. Under multiple monitors, there's a setting to show a taskbar on all monitors. Sure there is. Multiple displays. Oh, show taskbar on all displays, and it is currently on. Let's see if there's anything in here. Like I say, let's turn it off. So now they did disappear on the other 3 monitors. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 will be to come in here today and move these around. Just whatever for today. There's no rhyme or reason for today. And then when I turn it off, give it an hour or 2 or whatever, turn it back on and see what happens. I'm thinking I'm not going to have any more issues with it. Now, I also need to go recreate the same environment, if you will, that was going on at the same time, which means auto arrange was not on, and we were doing the power and supply, and we had that set to initially an hour. I'm just going to put it at 30 minutes, and then it'll turn it off. And that was how it occurred on the first time. So hopefully this will solve that problem. It's not a life or death, will or won't work situation. I have certain ways I have this set up that I like it. For example, all the clock stuff is over here on my 3rd monitor because that's where the clock is usually at. In fact, it's not usually, that's where it's always at. I always put it on that monitor for a specific reason. Doug Betts' link is over on my 2nd monitor. There's no rhyme or reason. My 1st monitor is DaVinci and OBS and everything related to DaVinci and OBS. And obviously I'm just haphazardly doing this right now. So, and then everything else will go on the third monitor. Now, where is my recycle bin? I know it's got to be on here somewhere. I don't see it. So, a little Doug Betts trick that I learned is click on any icon and then press the letter R. Oh, there it is, right in front of me. Right underneath the icon I clicked on. So that goes usually by itself as well. For systems restore, go back to where you were. Next step will show. So let's go back to systems restore. So he wants me to go back to where I was at. So go restore point. Bring up the box. And just to not get me confused, let's turn those things off. So go to system, go back to where you were. Next step will show the most recent restore point. Either I'm blind or I don't have any. Click system restore. So clicking system restore. And then next. Okay, so I do have, it looks like, 2 of them. I'm guessing these are system restore points, right?
Yeah, they're going to have a date on them when they were created.
Right. Now, let me see if I can do this while I'm live. See how well that's going to go over. And I want that to be F11. So if I go in here and hit that. So there's the date. But I don't, oh yeah, I need to move this. Do I have this locked? I don't remember. I really need to get with Brian and get the link to the thing he sent me, because I somehow, I know this will be shocking to some of you, have lost where that was at. And it's just basically, so now there's a time that says May 2nd at 8 o'clock in the morning. It was an automatic restore point, and it was done by the system. And then
that one is the what action you took. You installed something.
I can tell you that probably is graphics card related, since it says Radeon installer. And that was the other change. Doug said something that made me sit here and think a minute. There was 2 things that changed on the system. One was the taskbar crossed all 4, and then the other was we upgraded my graphics card. So whatever you're saying, click on one, you can see all the affected programs. So if I click right here, yeah, and then scan for, or what do I do?
Yeah, scan for the affected programs.
Okay, so we're scanning for affected, not infected, or in this case, it may be infected. I'm going to turn that off. That's confusing. So I'm going to get rid of that. No, I'm not going to get rid of that. It did not shut off. Interesting. There we go. So now we have the affected programs. Man, this needs to be expandable. You need to be able to.
Needs to be. Started.
Yeah, I mean, clearly that's so. This says Radeon installer on the 23rd at 3:43 in the afternoon. AMD software, it affected the Brave, the C cleaner. That was another thing we changed now that I think about it. What day was the 23rd? If somebody can tell me if that was on a Sunday real quick, that would be fantastic.
The 23rd of last month?
Yes, the 23rd of April. If that was a Sunday, the light is starting to come into focus right now. And it was a Sunday, actually.
It was Sunday.
Yep. I should have known that because Mrs. K's birthday was the following Sunday on the 30th. Now, this is making sense because that was the day I had someone remote in and check over my system and made some changes. And we probably did. No, I didn't screw anything up. So that's starting to come to making some sense now. So I'm not going to take away and restore it back to there and make the graphics card go back, although that might happen at some point in time. I think for now I'm just going to go with I've disabled the taskbar across there. I've moved some icons around. I'm going to wait and see what happens.
Because the one at 5.2 won't do any good because it's already affected.
Correct, because the issue has happened twice since then. Hello, Rick. I don't remember if I said hi to Rick or not. So hopefully that clears things up a little bit. Yeah, I could see where the video, it looked like it was all on one screen, although I did say this is monitor number 1, this is monitor number 2. Next time I do something like that, I'll put a definitive line down, or I will go in there and I will do it like that to where it says screen 1, screen 2, screen whatever, and that way there hopefully cannot be any confusion on what I was trying to say. I did appreciate Doug taking the time today to show a few examples. I actually agree with what he said of what happens to me might not happen to someone else. What happens to someone else might not happen to me. That kind of makes sense. I too am not a big third-party app person. I understand there are apps that may or may not solve this problem. And again, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. It's just a matter of, oh crap, icons are back together. Let me move them back again, move them back again and go from there. So there is some things I can do right now. We all know that we messed around one night and played a little prank on our good friend down in Arkansas. And I think that's all of them. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight those and delete them. They don't need to be around. This is a cool feature of the Sword Soft mouse track that when you press a button, it shows up at the bottom. Now, it's not going to show right now because I'm displaying the 4 screens. If I bring it back to one screen and if I hit the space bar, it shows up. This is real useful in DaVinci because that way people can see, oh, you're hitting Shift Space and it pops up the tool menu or the effects menu or whatever that's called. I don't know what it's called. I use it a lot. I should actually learn what it's called. I'm going to take the recycle bin and put it up there. Yes, I could take pictures, and it did. I could do screenshots or whatever. Again, not that important. It's just something I noticed, and I thought, well, there's got to be a reason for that. So I haven't been tracking the time. About a half hour, I'm going to suspect, because I wanted to start around 3 and it's 3:27. I'm sorry, William, you have anything you want to suggest or add or take away or anything of that nature?
Yes, I've seen video drivers do weird things.
Yeah, I saw. Okay, so speaking of that, I saw a couple comments I wanted to address from Doug's screen. Now, my phone just made a noise saying someone's sending me a message, but it's still up on the tripod, and I'm not going to lose sleep over that. Tony's sending me a T-5. Thank you, Tony. The one that stood out was something about my graphics card, and that was by Nova. A person named Nova. And now I can't find it. And there was another one. Yes, I've manually turned them off. Yes, I have switched the inputs like William Dawson has suggested me to do. They are 2 HDMI and 2 display ports. I'm actually considering getting monitors, true monitors, if you will, and seeing what happens. But here's the problem with that. There's still going to be 2 HDMI ports and 2 display ports because that's the way it's coming out of the graphics card. And everything is coming out of the graphics card. Nothing's coming out of, where'd Zoom go? Nothing's coming out of the, did I kill Zoom? I did not. And now, like clockwork, Mrs. K is sending me a text. This is almost as good as the nightly stream.
Not unless you found a bug in the new update new driver.
I haven't really researched anything until just now today. Now she sends me another text and another text. Boy, it must be important. You see, I'm jumping right over to get that text. I'll be right back. I'm going to show my avatar because I think it's very inconsiderate for me to be using my phone while I'm doing a live stream. But since it was bang, bang, bang text, I better make sure everything's all right. Okay. Somebody's trying to join us. Want to try desktop okay, or the one Rand mentioned? I tested it, fairly easy to save. At this point in time, I do not want to. If it continues to happen, I'm open to giving it a shot. Actually, I mean, I'm not a big fan of third-party apps, but I'm also not entirely against giving it a shot. I mean, against giving it a shot. And we're going to call Jeff the new Greg. Hi, Jeff the new Greg.
Well, I just muted it.
See, he knew exactly what I was referring to.
Well, I was actually moving the mouse before you said something.
Oh, okay.
I was in the waiting room for a while, so I was still listening to the stream.
At least 5 or 6 seconds. Yes, wow.
No, yeah.
So well, I did that when I was setting up. I should turn that off because I don't see anybody bombarding us.
I know I'm late, but you said
you're fine.
Got part of it fixed.
I think I solved it. I think I found what I believe to be the solution. Do you remember a while back we were talking about getting the taskbar across all 4 monitors on the stream or the after stream Zoom?
Yeah.
And that night I couldn't figure it out. Well, I did figure it out. I did have the taskbar on all 4 monitors, and that's when the issue started happening. So now I've set it back to where it's only on 1 monitor. I've moved some icons around.
Did you have to do something to make the taskbar appear everywhere?
You go into,
because I've got it on both of my 2 monitors, and I don't remember doing anything.
Yeah, whenever you walked me through it, you go down to the taskbar, you right-click on the taskbar, go into taskbar settings, scroll down to multiple monitors, I believe it was.
Show taskbar on all displays. I got you.
And then click that on.
Well, maybe I did that. I'll be damned if I remember.
Yeah, I have that problem. Well, I'll do things. I'm like, did I do that?
One of the perils of old age.
Yeah.
I meant to get here earlier, and then I realized I hadn't laid out all my pills for the week. I figured I better do that.
Yeah, I did take a picture of the cable that I dug up last night. It's an optical cable. It says right on it, and do you know how hard it is to take a picture of a cable with gloves on? It says Corning optical cable V4-2019. So I'm guessing it's from 2019.
So what, in your yard?
The one I dug up in my yard, yeah. And then the
question is, did you dig it up because you severed it by accident?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. Okay, so last year when we put the roses in, I came across this cable, but I didn't put a hole or cut it in half or anything. I was careful. We put the roses in. Saturday, when we're putting in the flowers and I'm using the tiller because of the rocks that's in the ground, she wanted to go a little further up. I had no clue this cable's there. I'm tilling away. I get done and she goes, "What's this?" And she holds up the broken end of the cable. I said, "Oh, that's probably the cable from the other side of the garage, and it's just running." And it was. She goes, "What's it for?" I said, "I have no idea." And then I thought, well, I'll pull it. I'll see if I can get it out of the ground. Well, since we had all this rain, the ground was super loose. I pulled that puppy out all the way back to the back part of my house to the AT&T box, but it stopped about that far away from the AT&T box, and then it came out of the ground, and it had been cut. Me being me, I'm like, oh crap!
Wasn't in use.
Huh?
So it was not actually.
No, actually, it couldn't have been in use because me being me, I thought I did this on Saturday. Wait, I've streamed Saturday night, so it's clearly not my current AT&T setup. So then yesterday, I wanted to run the other side, and I pulled it all the way to the neighbor's property line. And without speaking to her, I'm not going to go any further. It looks like that line run from their house over to my house.
So they just extended the cable there to.
I guess. I mean, as far as.
Or this was an earlier attempt and they just forgot about it or decided they wanted everybody on one line or whatever.
Something, yeah. Who knows? So I'm just going to go out there.
Well, that's a good thing. It wasn't the current cable in use.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say that because I have a sneaky feeling they would want to have charged you for fixing it if it were the one in use.
Probably. I have no idea how that got cut.
What's this piece wrapped around your rototiller?
Yeah, really. Now, the other end of the cable, oddly enough, has a copper line, a probably aluminum line. It looks to be silver, and a white line that's, I can't tell what's inside the white line. There's 3 lines in there. So more than likely it was at one point in time probably Comcast, I'm thinking. Since Comcast didn't work when they came out here to do it, they said the line. Remember how when I first moved in a year ago, they said a line was broken? Mm-hmm. Since I'll show you guys.
Okay, well.
I'll do a short video and
well,
I need to do one more today before tonight anyway.
If it were me, that line would just disappear if you ever switch back to Comcast. Hey,
oh, it's going to.
Idea.
Yeah, really, Comcast will be knocking on the door. We seem to have detected, well, I've been here a year and had no internet problems. Oh, did I mention I'm on AT&T? So, yeah, Mrs. K likes the background. I'm going to keep it for a while. I forget what we were watching, but the background was there. She liked it. I still like doing the T-shirt
from a
thing.
GoPro advertisement?
Yeah, I need to put that in DaVinci and get rid of that. Or, you know what? I wonder if I could use the thing that Brian told us about and make that go away. That's
It'll look a little fuzzy, I'm guessing, given how all various things are behind the letters.
Right, right. Good possibility.
Might be worth a try.
Yeah, I'm going to.
If you're ambitious, you can bring the thing into Paint and go pixel by pixel editing. If you have 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't know much about Paint. I've messed around with it.
Oh, it's dirt simple. It's just tedious as hell.
I can imagine. It's like what's the one that
when I
Photoshop.
Was working out here, sometimes we would just have a scan of a Xerox copy of an engineering diagram or something, because that's all we could lay hands on. And if we needed to include that in a report, we would scan it, import it into Paint, and remove all of the extraneous lines and Xerox spots and all of that, pixel by freaking pixel.
I bet that was fun.
Oh God, because they wouldn't give us anything useful. Well, you got Paint, don't you? Okay, you're only paying Sheila over here $50 an hour to do that. But
yeah, really.
Whatever.
Yeah. So I lost yet another subscriber. I'm going the wrong way. I'm down to 265 now.
What were you, 270?
I actually had done a thing to celebrate 270. Yes. And full disclosure, that was I took the 260. You must have found
all those extra accounts I made.
I think so. I hope so. I hope so.
I don't know.
Possible. Well, we know one night Sean Gallagher subscribed, 17 times, and it jumped right up. And then the next day it was right back to where it was because they determined that to be fictitious. Yep. So anyway, I think I will actually wrap this up, turn them off, go about 35, 40 minutes, turn them back on and see what happens now that I've got the taskbar there.
Now, just to clarify, originally this was when the monitors or TVs or whichever shut themselves off. We were using the word sleep, although it wasn't the checkbox where it said sleep in Windows.
Right. Let me share my screen and I'll show you what we were
When-
doing here. Share.
Yeah, I remember. I mean,
share.
you had it set so the monitor would do whatever it does after X minutes.
Yeah, I want to make sure that everyone's seeing the same thing out, get them on the right place. So I'm going to close out. I'm going to turn the icons off for now. So what we were doing initially was we were going into display settings, power and sleep, and when plugged in, turn off the screens after 30
the
minutes.
screen setting was the screen would go off after whatever you'd set it to.
Correct. And then I would come
The
in here and hit the space
sleep
bar, and the two monitors would come on because they're designed to do that, whereas the TVs would not without me hitting the power button. So that was working just fine.
Were not going off by themselves.
Pardon?
So the TVs were not going off by themselves?
No, they actually were shutting off by themselves, but they would not. You know how when your monitor's asleep or your computer's asleep,
right.
You press the space bar and it comes back on?
Right.
The TVs would not come back on until I actually took
was the little red
button.
light on? Could you tell if they were actually powered on and it just wasn't responding to the signal? Or
No, they
what?
were actually powered off.
Okay, all right. I
I
did
had
not
to-
appreciate that the first time you discussed this.
I had to physically go to the
Right.
the remote and press the power button
Right.
for the TV.
I have one other dumb question.
Oh, there's no such thing. This is Ken Stout Live.
On-
Dumb questions?
On your graphics card, you've got 2 display ports and 2 HDMIs.
Correct.
The reason I ask is I have a similar card, although not mine's an NVIDIA based, and it's got 3 display ports and 1 HDMI.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have not tried Doug's, when he mentioned maybe 2 of them were plugged into the motherboard and 2 of them were plugged into the graphics card. I
didn't think
believe
you were
that
doing that,
doesn't
were you?
work. I
Yeah.
honestly,
because, I mean, a lot of BIOSes, it's either or.
right.
I won't say there's nobody that'll let you do that because I don't know.
Yeah, me either. I honestly don't know. Let me spotlight William. It looks like
If
he's
I
got
say
something.
that, then Doug will get on my case just because it's that way for you.
Ken, if you just buy your monitor, you can buy a digital video to the HDMI cable.
So those are 2 different ends. One's
One's digital and one's HDMI.
okay.
One's DVI.
HDMI, and you got the digital over here.
Right.
Now the digital, you mean
The digital
the
port.
DVI?
Digital port.
DVI you're talking about?
Digital display ports.
Oh, DisplayPort. Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Wintermute asked a good question. Which monitors are HDMI and which are display ports or DP?
I assume your computer monitors are the DisplayPort.
Probably
Correct.
the TV to be HDMI.
The 2 HP monitors are the display port, and the 2 TVs are the HDMI.
Right. It wouldn't have DisplayPort on a TV under normal circumstances.
I don't think they
assume.
do. You know what? That'll be a good time killer for me when I shut them off. I'll look at the back of them to see. That's actually a really good,
Sorry,
good
William,
question.
I was thinking of the old thing, the DVI,
Yeah.
and there were
Big one that
multiple-
had the like 20 pins on that big
Yeah,
plug.
and there were multiple kinds of freaking DVIs. There was an analog DVI originally, and then digital, and there were 2 kinds of digitals. And I just got confused over that crap.
Yeah, I know that feeling.
Don't worry, they'll add more to really confuse people.
Yes, they will.
I don't think the DVIs are actually being added to graphics cards or motherboards right now. I think we've kind of gone past that. I won't swear all of them are like that, but
No, it's no DVI seen a long time. You
I
can't
guess it's
use it
mostly
with an
display port.
adapter.
It's mostly DisplayPort and HDMI. I was a little irritated. The motherboard I have was fairly expensive. It's an Aorus, and it's a motherboard, and the only output it's got is HDMI. And there are cheaper gigabyte motherboards, like some we've seen on Carrie's channel, that have DisplayPort as well as HDMI. And I just could not figure out quite their logic on how they decided what to put on what model of board.
Robert says HP monitor DVI to DisplayPort. Yeah, something like that. All I know is they work. He gave me all the hardware and I plugged it in and it works. And up until, I wish I would specifically written it down.
Okay, so you've got DisplayPort out of the graphics card.
Sure. Let's go with that.
And then he gave you the adapters to hook to DVI on the monitors, on the older monitors he gave you.
Yeah, hi
I'm
Bobby.
guessing.
Um,
All right. Oh, he said yes. Okay. Thank you, Robert.
yeah. See, he knows all this because he has cameras installed in my studio.
Probably here too.
Wouldn't it be wild if one day it comes out that Zoom installs secret ability to monitor? All of us are on Zoom. That would be crazy. So yeah, I will. That'll give me something to do because I was like, what am I going to do for a half hour?
It'll never happen. I would like to surreptitiously come to Indianapolis and get with Mrs. K and even not real hook them up, but just plant a fake camera in your office.
Oh, that's why you wanted to pay for me to go play golf. Now it's coming together. I got it. Oh, that's funny.
That wasn't the course you went to, was it?
No, we played Orchard right up the road here.
Okay, it wasn't your regular course, so either didn't look like it.
That's the third time I've played it. It's slowly turning into a nice little, if I want to go get in.
The other one with the 3 sets of locations for the tees and all of that.
Yeah. That was
not Orchard.
No, that one is Otte, OTTE, which is a nice course. It's a if I were to rate the courses, Orchard or the Apple course, as Mrs. K said, this is Apple number 1. That cracked me up. Apple number 2, Apple number 3.
I enjoyed the commentary on that this morning.
Oh, I bet. That's a beginner's course, especially the front 9.
Mm-hmm.
The back 9 is challenging, and I will record the next time I play. Of course, she can't walk it because it's just too much walking for her. So I'll figure out how to do it. Anyway, then you go to Otte. Otte's an intermediate course. It's got different things. Me and Mrs. K are tight like that way.
See?
Oh, I know.
I hadn't thought of that, but it would be worth the $25 fee for you to play golf for me to sneak in and even put in fake cameras.
Oh, I know. You guys.
But if Mrs. K didn't come with you, that would raise your suspicions.
Well, see, that's what I was getting ready to say. You guys are all going to get together, and you're going to say, we're going to throw you a birthday party at XYZ restaurant, 3 o'clock on this date. And I'm going to show up at 3 o'clock, and you all are going to be over here at my house putting cameras in my studio, and I'm going to be sitting there going, where are those guys at? And I'll send a text real quick. Hey, where's everybody at? Oh, we got stuck in traffic. Okay, you'll be here shortly.
No, but we couldn't sneak in without Mrs. K because with our luck, the cops would come.
Yeah. Well, it's not real hard to get in the house. If you ever want to get in the house, the key is under the mat by this front door. Oh, wait. Did I just say that on YouTube? It's not there.
You really don't need your house key.
Well,
the bum key.
Well, truth be known, right there's the only set of keys to this house. If I ever lose these, we're screwed. Especially when we go away and we actually lock everything up, which we do lock everything up most of the time we leave.
Well, what
Occasionally,
gets me, I don't know, you go in a locksmith shop out here, and if you always see these plastic rocks to hide your keys under in your yard that has rocks in it here in Vegas. And the damn things don't look like a rock, really.
no. They might as well put a neon sign up that say key. Exactly. You are right. All right, boys, let me get off here. It's pushing 4:00. I'm coming up on an hour. I will shut it down.
Let us know how it goes.
Well, I've got to do at least one more stream or upload between now and 10:30 because me being me, I don't like having odd numbers, and this is 219. If I do want, or no, this is 2.
If you don't want odd things, you got to get yourself a whole new group of followers.
Well, except for that now.
Can't resist.
Yeah, this is stream number 221 right now, or 220 right now. Tonight's would be 221. That would be odd. So I need to do another one in between now and then. So it'll be 222. It's just the way my brain works, which we all know is weird.
After you figure out whether this works or not, do a 5-minute short one on, say, if it worked.
Me? A 5-minute stream?
Yeah.
I'm
just
not going to say.
Tell us when you're going to do it. You can just do it and be done. And
that's true. We could give it a shot.
You can't do the trailer though, right?
I cannot do a true trailer yet because I don't have, and at the rate I'm going, I never will have 1,000 subscribers. I do think I have a workaround to have maybe a trailer, and I'm just working on that behind the scenes.
It's kind of funny. Seems like I haven't seen all of them yet. I've seen some things that look like YouTube made some changes.
Yes, they have.
One of the things I saw today was a little left and right arrow on the right-hand side of the main screen, whatever you want to call it, not the monitor, but the picture of YouTube, and it would open or shut a black window with some wording in it. It's not on there right now. Maybe that was just on Doug's trailer.
Well, let me see if we can figure this out here. Screen number 1, share, bring screen number 1 back over. Everybody should be on the same sheet of music now. So are you talking about on this one or when you're actually watching?
No, way over on the edge, like near.
Okay.
Right-hand side.
Right.
About in the middle, up and down, clear to the right.
Yeah, I have one here, but that's just going to scroll this. I don't have
right where your cursor is there, when you had it on the right, there was a little left and right arrow that would open or shut another window, so to speak, in the main. No, this was down. It would actually open a window that was all the way up and down the right-hand side of the screen.
Huh. Well, honestly,
I'm thinking maybe that was in Doug's trailer, but I'm not sure now. My memory being what it was, and that was early this morning.
Well, the bad thing about trailers is they're only okay. So let's watch tomorrow's trailer. You talk about
there it is.
Yeah, that's to get rid of this box. That'll clear that box out. That's all that is. Okay. Because when that's on, that tells you he's going to be live in 20 hours.
I would like to know what he's using to blend all of this crap together.
You know, I would too, because it looks absolutely professional to me. There's
just a bare hint when both of them are in the room that there's not quite.
Yeah, but here you can clearly see. Good. You can see the scene sources right here with the boxes. That's pretty common. But back over here, if you can go back, I do see a little bit of a line. Let me see if I can pause that right. So I do see a little bit of a line right there.
Yeah.
But that's the first time I noticed it.
Man, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, my hat's off to him. I owe Doug quite a bit, actually. Doug made a comment one time when we first were getting together that some people, I'm not going to mention anyone's name that lives in Pennsylvania, would have taken it personally, but we were talking about computers and techs and hobbyists and this and that and the other. And he goes, well, let's just face it, Ken, you're a hack. And you know what? He's right. At that time, I was a hack. Oh, wait, I'm still a hack. So
it depends what you're talking about. A quick little story. When I was working years ago in DOS days, one of the people I was working with had written a program, and at one point in there, he would shell out of the program to the DOS prompt, do a dir, redirect the output into a file, and then read that file to get the sizes and the dates of the times of all the data files we were using on the program. Okay? But the program got so big it wouldn't fit in 640K, if you remember that thing way back in the day. And so I had never done anything, but I pulled out a manual for C, and they have calls that you can look at system files and get dates and times and file sizes and all that. And I just literally hacked the damn thing until it worked. And I got it to work on DOS, and I got it to work on another system, Unix, that we had, just to make sure it sort of was working right. And and that it's the only C program I ever wrote, and the damn thing's still in use with this system.
You get any residuals from it?
Do
you get any residuals from it?
Hell, I barely got paid at the time. So. No, I did get paid well. But
hello, Mrs. William.
And they're just saying hello to you.
Hi.
Hi, I don't know your name, so I'll just call you Mrs. William.
They don't know your name.
Linda.
Oh, okay, Mary, thanks. Enjoy you being here. No, I know, you said Linda. I'm horrible with names, by the way, Becky, so if I call you something that's not your name, don't think anything about it. Ask the Zoom homies. I always forget their names. Right, Greg? Oh, wait, you're Jeff.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you later tonight then.
Well, you'll see me at least tonight, and I will shut this system down.
Yeah. Not sure exactly when I'll be here. My daughter may take the kids to the baseball today. I'm not sure.
Oh, that'd be good.
If she does, then I'll be on time.
Cool. Well, it'll be, as we know, ask Alex. It'll be 10:30 my time. Thank you, William, Mary, Jeff. I'm going to end the stream.
Code Suck, Arkansas.
Yeah. Chris had a good joke today. I like that. He said, did you see his joke about he was at the gas station? Somebody was there with the license plate from.
I saw that.
That was funny.